I was born in Multan, Pakistan, which is a very small rural village. My father worked as a lawyer between the US and Pakistan, but he also had a pro bono law clinic that I was introduced to at a very early age. I helped translate between my father and some of the women who would come here for pro bono legal advice. In Islam, in the culture and religion, it's much more comfortable for women to speak to other women. That's how I got my exposure to social work, to legal world, and I really knew from an early age that this is what I wanted to do. Yes, I was accepted to BC when I was at 14. I think one of the first encounters I've had with that is when I moved into housing. Matt, so the director of housing, figured out that I was 14 and he invited me in. He spoke with my family. He assured them, that it's very safe for me here. I lived in Chevy freshman year. I started my research from scratch. I was the very first person in my family going to college. I was looking for a university that stood for some of these principles that I wanted to engrave in my life, especially service. Over 2.5 years, I developed this research project where I wanted to interview female politicians in Pakistan and understand how, through the framework and lens of patriarchy, religion, culture, education, being financially independent, how does each of these elements impact women in politics, which is one of the highest offices in the lands, and that's the epitome of breaking this glass ceiling we talk about. I left the US with 20 interviews and I came back with 50 interviews conducted. And the book kind of came much, much later on after I received more grants and guidance. Being an undergraduate student, I didn't have a master's, I don't have PhD in the subjects that I was interviewing. So you really have to be fearless in what you want to do, and also you have to just go ahead and try it and do it. The process of writing and crafting the book cover, publishing all of this from step 1 to step 100 takes money, takes effort, takes guidance, and BC offered me every single one of those pieces. If I was doing it without the donor support, maybe I would have been able to afford to go to 1 place or 2 place or 3 place, and the project would have been limited in scope. It's the cohesiveness, the inclusiveness, and the large-scale data that the process then drive from all of the interviews that now makes it an element of impact. I have access to so many resources and so many communities and so many skills that people that I was born and grew up with don't have access to till date, right? I have access to applying to all of these scholarships. I have access to these professors who would sit in a room with me until however long it takes for me to get the answer to the questions I want. I don't want these resources to just go to waste and me not doing anything and just sitting around because it's too precious. I also founded a nonprofit in my time here at Boston College. It helps immigrants in America file taxes and get other governmental aids and documents in 10+ languages. I want to create a social impact, a legal impact for the rights of women and girls, and as much as it sounds like, oh, we are trying to do work in it, it's just not enough, because the girls that I grew up with, that I was born with, they still don't have access to the very basic resources that I now have access to. I'm very honored to be at Boston College for my undergraduate experience, and I'm very thankful for all of you for supporting my experience at Boston College. Thank you.